Okay, so a bunch of you asked for a Togepi, but I didn't like the colors. Here's what I switched out. This Togepi Perler Bead sprite is from Generation 4, Diamond and Pearl. And the color I'm taking out here is Peach, which is supposed to be a shade for the cream on the other side, but I felt like it was too much of a two-faced situation. I felt like I needed to go more on the yellow route because cream is a very light yellow. So I looked through all the yellows that I have and I settled on using pastel yellow, which is still a light color, but it is darker than the cream, and I think it looks a lot better than the peach. Also, I'm not sure if you can tell, but this sprite uses a lot of colors. This little Togepi uses 15 colors, and that's a lot for a sprite this size. However, it does feel like all these colors have their own distinct spot, and it doesn't seem like it's too cluttered or too much. That might be the worst tape rip I've ever done. Thank you, future me, for editing out the 2 minutes to fix the tape. But now that I have all of that tape down and cut here, I'm going to take off all the excess tape and grab that one little bead that got away very slowly and put it back. I mentioned earlier that this had 15 different colors, and I'll tell you a couple of them. Again, I went for the dynamic outline, so I really tried to pack in as many different colors as I could. I went with black and light brown, fawn, regular brown, and literally 2 beads of slate blue for the shell. See, that's how some of these sprites end up getting you with a ton of colors. Randomly, in your sprite, you'll end up having 1 or 2 colors that are a single bead or maybe 2 beads, which most of the time you could probably just replace no problem, but I want to get that detail in there. So sometimes I have to use a lot more beads than probably necessary, but I think it looks cool. Looks like I missed a few beads here too. That happens sometimes when you don't actually push every single bead down on the tape, but it's usually only a handful of beads and it's never really a problem. You know, Togepi has always been one of those Pokemon that I really liked, but I never used. Normally when it came down to making my teams, this was always my 7th Pokemon or my 8th. Maybe in one of my next playthroughs I'll make a themed team based around eggs. Because normally when I play the Pokemon games, I love making a themed team. You know, like running all turtles or all thick boy Pokemon, which are, Nidoking and Tyranitar. You know, something like that. Makes the games so much more fun. Plus, with Pokemon Home, you can make a full team all level 1 and trade them in right away. That's usually the route that I go. But anyways, back to Togepi here. This little Pokemon actually ended up melting really quickly. I ended up taking quite a few breaks just to check on the perler underneath because when they're completely underneath the heat press, they melt super fast. But I'm almost done, and as you can see, I almost have every single bead melted. Togepi here was a really easy melt, and I think it came out really well. You'll see here in a second when I pull off the parchment paper how good the melt came out. I'd have to say that this is like the ideal look that I want on my perlers when I make them. It's easy on the small ones and definitely harder on the big ones. I hope you enjoyed my video. Subscribe to my account, drop me a comment down below and a like, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye!